In a lush forest, a shy rabbit named Luna lived under a sprawling oak tree. Nearby, a young fox named Finn roamed the woods, often alone. Finn was curious about Luna, but knew that foxes and rabbits usually didn't get along. One sunny afternoon, Luna was searching for berries when she accidentally stepped into a thorn bush. She tried to free herself, but only got more tangled. Hearing her soft cries, Finn approached cautiously. Luna froze, fearing the worst, but Finn gently nudged the thorns aside with his nose and freed her. "Thank you," Luna whispered, surprised. "You're welcome," Finn replied, smiling. The next day, Luna decided to bring Finn some fresh berries as a thank you gift. Finn, touched by her gesture, shared his favorite hiding spots in the forest with her. Day by day, they explored the woods together, discovering secret paths, hidden streams, and sunny meadows. As time passed, Luna and Finn became inseparable. The other animals were amazed by their friendship, but Luna and Finn didn't care. They had found in each other a true friend, someone who looked beyond their differences and saw the kindness within. And in the heart of the forest, their bond grew stronger with each passing day.
Moral of the story: be kind and helpful to others, even if they're different from you. Friendship can grow in the most unexpected places when you look beyond differences and care for one another.
A little boy, about 5 years old, is sitting on the floor, holding a big dog treat. He's grinning mischievously, knowing that the dog is nearby. The boy hides the treat behind his back as a large, fluffy dog enters the room, wagging its tail eagerly. The dog sniffs the air, immediately sensing the treat. The dog sits in front of the boy, giving him the classic puppy eyes look, hoping to get the treat. The boy laughs, trying to resist but finding it hard. As the dog happily munches on the treat, the boy claps and giggles. But just then, he realizes he wants the treat back. The boy reaches out to the dog, trying to get the treat back. The dog playfully runs away, with the treat still in its mouth. The boy chases the dog around the room, both of them laughing and having fun, though the boy doesn't stand a chance of catching up. Finally, the dog flops down on a soft rug, the treat now gone, and the boy plops down beside him, out of breath. They both share a contented look, as if to say, "That was fun." Moral of the story: having fun with friends is more important than keeping all the treats for yourself. This teaches that sharing and playing together can bring more happiness than just thinking about what you want.
Once upon a time, in a cozy little house, there lived a clever mouse named Max. Max had big ears, a twitchy nose, and a love for cheese. In the same house lived a sleek black cat named Shadow. Shadow was always on the lookout for Max, but Max was too quick and too smart. One sunny afternoon, Max smelled something delicious coming from the kitchen. He peeked out of his tiny mouse hole and saw a big golden chunk of cheese sitting on the kitchen counter. Max's mouth watered. He just had to have that cheese. But there was a problem. Shadow was napping right on the counter, her tail flicking back and forth. Max knew he needed a plan. Max quickly ran back to his mouse hole and grabbed a little red ball. He rolled the ball across the kitchen floor, making it bounce and jiggle. Shadow's ears perked up and her eyes opened wide. She loved chasing things. As soon as Shadow saw the ball, she forgot all about her nap and jumped down to chase it. Max smiled as he saw Shadow pounce on the ball, batting it around the kitchen. While Shadow was busy playing, Max scurried up to the counter. He grabbed the chunk of cheese and quickly nibbled a small piece. But Max wasn't greedy. He left the rest of the cheese right where it was and hurried back to his mouse hole with his prize. By the time Shadow realized what had happened, Max was already safe inside his hole, happily munching on his cheese. Shadow looked up at the counter, saw the cheese still there, and gave a little purr of satisfaction. She didn't mind that Max had taken a tiny bite. After all, there was plenty of cheese left for her. And so Max and Shadow lived happily together, each enjoying their own little treats and playing their clever games. Moral of the story: being clever and using your wits can help you solve problems, but it's also important to be kind and share with others. Max was smart enough to get what he wanted, but he didn't take more than he needed, allowing both him and Shadow to enjoy the cheese and live happily together. Once upon a time, in a lush bamboo forest, there lived a gentle panda named Pippa. Pippa loved her peaceful life, munching on bamboo all day long. But sometimes she felt a little lonely. One sunny day, a little girl named Lily visited the forest with her family. While exploring, Lily wandered off and found herself lost. She sat down on a rock and began to cry softly. Just then, Pippa, who had been nibbling on bamboo nearby, heard Lily's sniffles. Curious, Pippa lumbered over to see what was wrong. When Lily saw the big panda, her tears stopped and her eyes grew wide with surprise. Pippa, with her soft black and white fur and kind eyes, didn't look scary at all. In fact, she looked like the biggest, cuddliest teddy bear Lily had ever seen. Pippa gently nudged Lily with her nose, as if to say, "Don't worry, I'm here to help." Lily smiled and wiped her tears. Pippa led her through the forest, pushing aside branches and showing her the way. Along the way, they played little games. Lily would hide behind a tree and Pippa would find her, making Lily giggle with joy. Finally, they reached the edge of the forest where Lily's family was searching for her. Lily hugged Pippa tightly and said, "Thank you, Pippa. You're my new best friend." Pippa waved her paw as Lily ran back to her family. From that day on, Lily often visited the forest to see her panda friend, and they had many more adventures together. The moral of the story is that helping others and being kind can lead to wonderful friendships. Even when you're scared or lost, kindness can bring you a new friend who will make everything better. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by green hills, a baby girl named Rosie was born. Rosie was special from the very start. She had the sweetest smile, and her tiny hands always reached out for anything pink. Her parents noticed that whenever Rosie saw a pink rose, she would giggle with delight. As Rosie grew, her love for pink roses became even stronger. She would spend hours in the garden, playing among the flowers, always drawn to the pink ones. But there was one rose Rosie had heard about that she longed to see. A rare pink rose that was said to be the most beautiful flower in the world. It was so rare that no one in the village had ever seen it. One sunny day, when Rosie was just 3 years old, she was playing in the garden when she saw a butterfly fluttering towards the edge of the forest. Curious, she followed it. The butterfly led her deep into the woods, farther than she had ever gone before. Suddenly, Rosie smelled something sweet in the air. It was a scent she recognized. A rose, but not just any rose. This was the sweetest smell she had ever known. Rosie followed the scent until she came to a small, hidden clearing. In the middle of the clearing was the rare pink rose she had dreamed about. It was more beautiful than she had imagined, with petals that sparkled in the sunlight and a fragrance that filled the air with joy. Rosie approached the rose carefully, her eyes wide with wonder. She gently touched one of the petals, and as she did, the rose began to glow with a soft pink light. Rosie felt a warm, happy feeling fill her heart. The rose seemed to be saying, "I have been waiting for you, Rosie." From that day on, Rosie and the rare pink rose became the best of friends. Rosie would visit the rose every day, and whenever she was near it, she felt a special kind of happiness. The villagers often wondered why Rosie always had a bright smile on her face, but Rosie knew it was because of her secret friend, the rare pink rose that made her world a little more magical. And so Rosie and the rare pink rose lived happily ever after, sharing their joy with anyone who came near. The moral of the story is that true happiness comes from the special connections we make and the simple joys we find in life. Rosie's love for the rare pink rose teaches us that when we appreciate the beauty around us and cherish what makes us happy, we can spread joy to others and make the world a brighter place.